I want to do a recap of the Super Bowl in the Levi's Stadium in San Francisco, California, featured by Bad Bunny. So I really liked the show, halftime show. I think it's one of the best shows that I've seen, not because of the music, but because of the message that he relayed on this stage. He had a few subliminals and little things here and there that people don't know what it is. So I'm gonna go over them so you guys could go back and watch the video and the music in a different way. So he started off being in the fields, wearing the sombreros that they have. That was key because people don't know. A lot of Puerto Ricans have some African American descent, so they started off as field workers that they migrated some parts of Africa. Then you see those telephone poles, and we saw the people climbing up, and then out of nowhere, the power went off and it fell off. This is symbolism because when the hurricane hits in Puerto Rico, it hits super hard at the power outage. They have no power for days, weeks, which is weird because Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. territory. So it's kind of embarrassing that, but I guess you could say, Puerto Rico is like a state in California. It's kind of weird, but for it to not have power for weeks or days, that's crazy. So you see him walking around to different vendors. There was a cocoa vendor in Puerto Rico. They love their cocos, especially the green ones, because they're more fresher, have a sweeter taste. Then you see him walking to a taco guy, which I personally met that guy. I ate lunch with him because my coworker is best friends with him. They went to the same high school, Marshall High School. So I talked to him, and he was a nice guy. He told me he wants to open a coffee, Mexican style coffee, Ria's Coffee. So we'll see if that's still in the plans. But it's a little insight. He's from my neighborhood of Highland Park. So when I saw that, I was proud because Highland Park was repping the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So it's a proud moment. I ate his tacos before. They're black tortillas. They have a different type of taste. They are a little pricey, but it's an experience that you gotta try. In the scene when he's in New York, when the song Nueva York, you see like a doña. Well, I heard that she's known in Williamsburg. She has an actual like bodega style store, and she's kind of known because in Williamsburg, there's a lot of gentrification going on, and she's still going strong when all the changes are going through higher rents and et cetera, whatever comes with gentrification. I've been to Williamsburg in New York, and it's I could say it's like a random part of town. It's nice, but like you see a lot of how you call it gypsies, Jewish people that don't wear deodorant. It's kind of like I don't know. You feel like you're in the 1940s, 1950s. They're all dressed like somewhere in Germany back in the day. So I see why she's really known because imagine she's probably the only Puerto Rican there. Then you got the two boxers that Bad Bunny was going in front of and were boxing across from him. One was Mexican and one was Puerto Rican. They are real fighters. One is called the Mexican is called Emiliano Vargas. The other one's called Alexander. He's an upcoming Puerto Rican. He has the titles, and a lot of reggaeton artists, Puerto Rican people have high hopes for this guy, and that symbolized the Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry in boxing. So that's the thing that people don't really didn't get. Then you see Bad Bunny giving his Grammy that he won to a little boy that resembled the boy from the ice raid that happened in Minneapolis. But a lot of people saying that it's not him. There's an actor by the name of I forgot his name, But a lot of people saying that it is him because he does look like him, especially if you look at him to the front. But that's a debate here and there. Then you see uh, a wedding going on, which is a real wedding. I guess the couple invited him to wedding to sing, but he couldn't do it. So instead of him going to their wedding, he invited them to the Super Bowl to get married, which is an iconic moment, especially for that couple, for the rest of their lives. They will never forget. Hopefully, they don't get divorced after this. And him giving these messages saying that you could do whatever you can set your mind to. You know, look at him. He's a prime example. You know, he went from selling groceries to being the biggest music star in the world. Has the most views in any Super Bowl history, more than Michael Jackson. Last but not least, my favorite part is when he walks around and he spikes the ball and makes a touchdown. And right here, as you can see in the football, it says, "Together we are Americans." Saying everybody, no matter who you are, if you contribute to this country, if you're Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Colombian, whatever you are American. You are part of making this country what it is. So I'm glad that Bad Bunny used this for what's going on in the United States of America to his advantage in the big stage. A lot of people are mad because they're saying that why it's only all Spanish and stuff like that. But you be eating guacamole with chips and tequila, or you be doing all this extra stuff. Like sometimes it's not what you can understand. It's music is like what you makes you feel. You can like the beat. You could like like just how make you feel. You're not supposed to always understand it to know that you like it. You get me? Like I know my family when they're in Mexico, or even when I went to Mexico too, they would listen to a lot of English music, and I'm like, how did they listen to English music when they don't know what the hell they're saying? Like when when I was 8 years old, they were bumping Backstreet Boys like heavy, and I was like, what the hell? I thought I would hear more like Mexican music, but I heard a lot of English music. And my mom tells me, I told her, how do you guys do it if you guys don't understand it? They're like, because it sounds good. It sounds good, mijo. I'm like, it makes sense. Good music isn't good music, whatever. Wherever you go, it's a feeling. And that's